Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this exciting David vs. Goliath matchup. I'm Billy Hunt, bringing you the action today with Jake Lobrak and Matt Dopp.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how are you doing? Very excited for this.
Today's matchup features heat versus water, something like you've never seen before.
Yeah, Billy, I'll tell you what, a lot of lead up to this. You know, the pot's been talking smack all week, the stove's been talking trash, but none of that matters. All that matters is the temperature and if the pot will boil. This is a strong 4-burner stovetop, 1 to 2,000 watts. It's going to be tough for this water to hold up, but we're going to see, and I'm really excited to see what happens today.
Yeah, starting out in the top left corner, put the strongest pot on the water, so we'll see what happens here.
Is that what kind of water is that, you think? Is that hydrogen and oxygen? Little
H2NO?
Yeah, perfect
I
blend.
don't know.
Yeah,
It looks like filtered. It's got to be filtered, not from the tap.
Looks
That's
like
what I was saying, Doc.
water's coming out in the all-white home uniforms, while the pot's wearing the dark away uniforms for this matchup. I'm really digging the uniforms the water brought. Heard they're
Yeah,
new.
I think they just got released. I'm loving the contrast in them though.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
almost better than the Falcons uniforms that got released yesterday.
Oh, those Falcons uniforms are
Mm.
disgusting. Gross. Looks like they took Adam Sandler's movie and just copied it. Like, I mean, XFL on steroids. Not a fan. I'll tell you what,
Oh,
we are seeing a little bit of bubbling happen already.
you see
That's
that movement?
not
you
a
guys?
good look.
That was like
Not
an
even-
audible there.
Not
That
even
was like
2 minutes
Carson Wentz
in.
That was Carson Wentz in the pocket calling Omaha right there.
Not
Incredible.
even 2 minutes in, and we got our first sighting of a little rumbling going on. These teams really don't get along with each other.
No, they don't. And that, honestly, that just shows preparation right there. The stove, you know that they put time in the film room and they saw the water's weakness, and being able to attack that early, 2 minutes in, it's not looking good for the water. I'm really strongly in favor of the stove right now.
Yeah, this has been a heated rivalry for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of trash got talked this week. You know, the stove really hit Twitter hard. He was letting them know this is a David versus Goliath moment here. You know, the water really doesn't have a chance in a lot of people's eyes. But you know, I talked to the water earlier. It had some confidence, but right now it's not looking too good.
Yeah, a lot of bad blood between these two teams.
Yeah, like Dopp said, the film room, they really did their studies, man. I'll tell you that. Incredible. Do you guys see that countertop though? Like that countertop crowd is incredible. The enthusiasm. I don't know what color that is, but the enthusiasm coming from them. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You think about it, like this stovetop is in its home ballpark. Like that countertop is there 24/7, 365. Like that pot has to get moved up and down from the cupboard to the dishwasher to the sink. So a lot of travel. There could be some fatigue there, some jet lag from the pot. And then, not to mention, that water, it's not light. It's probably a good 5 pounds in that pot. So I think the stove has a massive advantage here.
Yeah, and we don't know if the water went right into the pot or if carried from the sink to the stovetop. If it went from sink to stovetop, that's even more travel. So we can see if that affects the pot later in the game, gets tired, you know, the legs start to wear on it, and then it's all water from there.
And
Exactly.
I'm gonna say the indoor room temperature is probably about 70 degrees based on the fact that it's already starting to bubble a little bit. But I gotta wonder what the stove's at. Like how much heat's putting is the stove putting out? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's a very interesting strategy that I'm seeing from this stove. What I've been noticing so far is about 14 seconds on and about 6 seconds off. So with that ratio and with the 2,000 watts that I think this back left burner is pushing out, it's look at this. You're already seeing some condensation right now. Right now, the stove
Incredible.
is posting and toasting, and this water is not holding up well.
Yeah, leading up to the game, I talked to the stove, and we were talking about how it was training, and it said it was doing a lot of sprint work. So he knew he was going to have to go short, quick bursts for this. So 14 on, 6 off is like that perfect pace he wants. Let's see if he can keep it up and maintain it for the rest of this contest.
Oh, absolutely.
Truly an incredible sight, though. I got to tell you that.
And something else that I think is really getting downplayed here is that when you look at the background of this water, at one point it was in Canada in a stream. And the Canadian, they used a metric system, Celsius. But
Mm.
this pot is being boiled in America using the Fahrenheit system. So, the numbers don't add up there. So, 212 degrees versus 100 degrees Fahrenheit is a big difference. So I'm just curious to see if this water was able to do the conversions.
Yeah, maybe
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Billy.
I said maybe a little confusion setting in. They don't really know what's going on because they heard numbers all week leading up to it, and that quick switch from Canada to America might have thrown it off.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe a little jet lag too in the transition. Wonder if that's going to play a factor into today's matchup.
And I'll tell you what, right now you are seeing heavy condensation. This pot is starting to steam. The water is folding. The knees are buckling, and it's not looking good. Steady. We're about 5 minutes in here, and the water is really starting to bend. The wall is falling.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, that would be like the end of the first round in a prize fight. I think the water may have gotten knocked down once or twice. It's real weak. It needs to do something to get back in this contest. It needs a point big in this next round.
If I learned anything in my 20 years of living, it's the 5 Ds: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. And let me tell you right now, the water is not doing any of those Ds. It's just
Absolutely.
crumbling.
It is. It's just standing there. Hasn't even tried to put up a fight at all.
Have they never played Wii Sports Boxing? Because at least that would give you the basics of what to do in this scenario,
Exactly. Yeah.
Just crumbling.
Yeah, but you can talk all that smack all week long, but once you get hit in the mouth, it's a totally different contest. And we're seeing the water's got hit in the mouth hard early. It's got to do something to bounce back, get back to its feet.
Exactly. We're starting to see some bubbling here. This stove is just throwing daggers, absolute daggers at this pot right now. It is straight hocus pocus by the water and all focus by the stove.
And leading up to this big matchup, I talked to a couple folks outside the contest or outside the stadium, and Bobby Boucher said this was some high quality H2O. Let me tell you, I'm not seeing this high quality that's within this pot. It's looking a little low.
Yeah, and I was on the other side reporting for the other team. I talked to the Cups, the pot's best friend, and they were saying it's going to be all pot this game. It's going to boil the water pretty bad, beat it up. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So far,
It's a darn shame.
Exactly. Yeah. And earlier when I was talking to the pot, I was actually looking at its dimensions. It's only about a centimeter wide on the bottom, which gives the stove immense pressure to be able to just build right up into it. There's not a lot of friction there, and the stove is just penetrating this pot easily.
Yeah. Can we take a minute to talk about the stove? The fact that we are just like minutes into this broadcast, and the water is already starting to change states. There's not even a lid on top. There's no lid cover.
Oh, wow.
It's just
yeah.
Straight heat. Like, how
That's
incredible is that stove?
That's impressive. I heard it just signed a new 3-year contract the other day because it's coming off. It's like in the middle of its prime right now. So
highest paid stove in the league.
Yeah, I heard that. Big contract.
Retweet that one.
I think it was like 3 years, 140 million, somewhere around there.
Jeez.
You know what? Right now, it's
big
proving
time player.
It deserves every penny. The bubbles are starting to mount at the bottom. This could not last.
Oh, man.
This could end soon.
Oh, I'm getting hype. Hey, I wonder how good the oven is, because usually they come into a combo. It's like a 2-for-1 kind of deal. I wonder if the oven's that good too as the stove.
That is true. Gauging on the 4-burner, I'm guessing it's probably a good 400 cubic square inches in there, but no word on heat that pumps out from the oven. But this stovetop is powerful.
Talking to the stove and the oven, they grew up playing together, played their college ball on the same team, so they are a package deal, and they're trying to play on the same professional team soon. So that'll be a cool story to cover if they can sign to the same team, sometime soon.
The Hall Notes of this industry,
Yeah.
And something else that I'm seeing is this was a fairly clean stove when we started. There wasn't too much grease from previous cookings on it, which really allows the stove to perform at its peak. You see here that really, we're 9 minutes in now, and even the handles you can see is covered in condensation. The water is crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And that steam just keeps getting higher and higher. You got to hope it doesn't get too much and, smoke up and set the fire alarm off. Could be bad.
That would not be good.
That would not be good. No, because then all the fans would have to flee from the stadium, run out, and it would be chaos. Chaos out there.
something else you're seeing here is these bubbles are starting to come up to the top of the water, and you see that they're trying to congregate and go towards each other to try to have a last ditch effort, but I really don't think it's working. You see that the
Yeah.
second they touch each other, they just pop instead of getting stronger.
It's a travesty. And like Billy said, if these fans have to evacuate, you can only imagine what's going to go out in the parking lot. You look at the competition and the competitive atmosphere between the pot and the water. Can you
Hmm.
imagine between the fans? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, yeah, you got to think back to the Boil of '92 when these two made it to the finals, and same thing, just like here, the
Yeah.
water talked a lot of smack and thought they were going to win, but the Stove just rolled them in four, and you know what, there was anarchy in the streets. So
Mm.
folks, if you're out there, it's civil. This is just a pot boiling, but listen, got to be civil here. Can't have another Boil of '92.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to that '92 matchup. It was kind of incredible that the Water even hung in for 4 games, or I think it went to 5. I don't remember, but
Hmm.
just they fought hard every game, and then the pot
Yeah.
would win at the end. But right now,
Yeah.
seeing complete dominance in this first matchup since '92 between these two teams.
Exactly. Yeah. This honestly, a lot of people didn't give this pot of water a chance. It was probably the biggest Cinderella story since Bill Murray winning the Masters and Caddyshack.
Mm.
But it just
Oh yeah.
looks like this pot of water is just to come up about a game short. But you know what? Props to them. They're still not out of it. We thought this was over 5 minutes ago, but here we are,
Mm,
11 minutes in, and we're not seeing an increase in the bubbling from the pot. So, the Stove's really got up its ante here.
Yeah,
Maybe instead of doing 14 on, 6 off it, maybe looks at it maybe a 17 on, 4 off. But
yeah.
um,
yeah,
I, I'm not seeing the Stove adjust too much here.
yeah. And if you
Well,
wonder if it goes 17-4, if it can maintain that pace, that's the only problem. But I think the
yeah.
Water might need to call
Absolutely.
a timeout here soon, stop the action, and get back into what it was doing in those first couple minutes. Talk it over.
But you look at the level of water has continuously decreased. So the Stove still is putting out some effort, but like you guys said, they might have to think of a game change, a change in game plan here moving forward.
Yeah, that's straight science. When you think about it, all this steam here, all this condensation is lost water. So
Hmm.
it's not a lot, but technically that's less water that this stove needs to boil. So the weaker it makes this pot, the easier it's going to be. But I'll tell you what, mad props to this pot. It's putting up a heck of a fight.
Absolutely. And shout out to the camera crew because I got to tell you, this is incredible, incredible resolution. What's that?
Hmm.
10? Is that
Yeah.
1080 by 30 or is that 60?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
I
got
think
to
man.
be.
Yeah, it's gotta be 60. I think it just looks perfect.
Yeah.
We always talk about how easy our job is. Just talking, but we don't give
Hmm.
Hmm.
these camera crews enough credit, man. They're covering the action. They're giving us these perfect angles on every play, every snap, every down. It's incredible.
Yeah, and you think about it, this camera crew rolled in late last night. They got into town a little late, and they were up
Hmm.
till 10:30, 11, setting up, getting all the audio and equipment ready. And they were here in the kitchen at 6 a.m. again, ready for the bout. So,
Yeah.
props to them. Spending time away from their families and being on the road a lot's a tough job, but did they make us look good, and we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All the time they spend running the camera lines and testing signal quality, and it's really paying off in a battle like this.
Hmm. And coming in, I was a little surprised that the stove decided to pick the back left. In a lot of my experience, I've seen the front burners be the stronger ones. So I
yeah,
thought that'd make it more of a fair fight. But as we see here, the water is continuing. The bubbles are starting to come to the top. The
Oh
condensation is
boy.
strong. I don't
yeah.
know how much longer this
It's
fight's going to
it's
last.
it's getting ugly, man. The Water's got a cut under its left eye. It's not looking too
Yeah.
good, man. They just need this round to end. They gotta dig it out, do whatever they can, try to keep going forward.
Hmm. Yeah, this stove has been eyeing it, trying it, and now it is buying it.
Hmm. Well said, Matt. Well said.
Yeah, but back to your point about which stovetop to pick. I know I did some testing earlier, tested 3 different stoves, and every single person said the front left or the front right was their go-to
Yeah.
stove because it's the bigger one. It's in the front. It's closer. It's more used, and I don't know. The back left was an interesting choice, but it looks like it's paying off right now.
Yeah,
Mm.
Billy. To that point, I too tested 2 different stoves, and front right tested positive for the most efficient for both
Mm.
of those tests. So it's an interesting play here that we're seeing.
And you want to know what? I want to give a quick shout out to the stove and its safety implications over the past years. You think about the past centuries with propane open flame stoves, a lot of burning, a lot of humans burned themselves. And even once we transitioned here to these electric stoves, there was really no hot light to let people know. So a lot of burning happened, but this stove saw it. And, I know we can't see in the camera, but right in front of there's a big orange light letting everyone know that it's hot. So, safety is a big concern for this stove. And it just shows how well-rounded of an organization the stove is, just thinking about everything from how to beat the competition but keep everyone safe in the process.
Yeah,
So
but back to the
shout out to
action.
safety.
Back to the action. It's getting even crazier in there right now. Seams going everywhere. Bubbles are blowing, and this one's almost over.
It's a huge route. Oh man.
212 degrees Fahrenheit has been reached.
Oh my gosh! Look at this.
Look at those bubbles. Look at the bubbles.
This is it. This is what the folks paid money to see.
Oh, and the crowd's going wild.
Yeah, crowd's going crazy. This maximum capacity crowd of over 50,000 came to watch this, and it's almost over before they could get their money's worth.
It's a captivating scene, though. I'll tell you that. It's a great matchup.
Okay. 2 weeks of a run by this water. It is fatigued. It has given up. It has reached its breaking point, and the stove has put the final dagger in the heart of the water.
No subs. Oh my
God.
Oh my gosh.
There's a fan on the field.
There's a fan on the field.
This is chaos. This is chaos. Let's
see this replay. What is this?
Man.
Out of nowhere.
Out of the
pot of spaghetti.
Up to the top right corner. That's incredible.
I'll tell you what, adding carbohydrates to this water, it is going to boil over. We are going to see spillage.
Oh man. They better get a third-party spoon in there, because if not, like you said, Dop, there's going to be some spillage.
Yeah, you got to start, no doubt, got to start trying to mix the water.
What I'm worried about is what else is coming, None of us thought this pasta would come out of nowhere, but is there sauce laying around? He's going to throw butter in there? Like, what's going to come next?
Yeah, I know. I heard Ragu might make a guest appearance into this one. That'll be big. That'll be big for the water's sake, Yeah. Get a big teammate.
You know what, though? This strategy kind of worked. Like, the water was ready to spill over, but, calling this late call to the bullpen to bring some pasta in really neutralized, the stove's attack. So it's working for now. Props to the manager for throwing it in there, but I think he just needed a bigger box.
It's up to the stove now to see how fast they can boil the pasta and get it out of there. Because once that thing's out of there, it's just back to him in the water.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this back in '92 in that boil. They didn't add the pasta in, and that was one of their downfalls.
Yeah.
And in the rematch, many years later, we're seeing the adjustments that have been made. They spent time watching the film back in '92, and they've been working on this process since, and it's paying dividends right now. At least
that just shows the preparation right there. It's all in the film room, and this is just right here is where the off season comes into play. When you're training, when no one's looking, and it's moments like this when you get hit with pasta out of left field, that's when conditioning really comes in. And I'll tell you what, we're really starting to see foam. The pasta's really starting to fold here.
Yeah, that was such a big audible, though. The Pots head coach was not very happy with that one because he didn't even know it was in the rule book that you could throw that pasta in there out of nowhere.
But look at the adjustment by the stove. This stove quickly battled that audible and is now producing foam. Like, this is better. This is a better bubble than we had before. Like, it's rapidly evaporating the water.
Oh
my gosh.
There
it is.
The spoon's coming in. That will temporarily slow it down, but let's see the replay here.
Oh, man. Once again, big props to our camera crew.
Little left to right swirl, scoop it up, make sure
perfect
get
80-degree angle.
That's
perfect
wonderful.
Angle.
That's
and
exactly how you
off.
draw it up.
Yeah,
that's
and
exactly
how
you
shake
draw
at the end to make sure every last drop of water got in the pot.
Yes, sir. Making sure they don't lose any of their own teammates. That's a wonderful play right there by the coach.
That is, and that just shows the camaraderie of this pot of water. Like I said, Cinderella's story. They've been through a lot of adversity, and they're not going to give up on each other now.
No, not now. They've gone through too much, like you said, Dop. They've been holding on to this since 1992. They wanted this battle hard. They want
this for the fans.
Yeah.
And you see the foam is gone.
Almost gone. Wow, that spoon really, really did some damage. A lot of damage right there.
I don't know. What are we seeing some give up from the stove here, or is
Oh wow, yeah,
That's what
that's
it
what it's
sounds
looking
seems
like.
like. Yeah.
uh,
The
Wow.
I
steams.
can't believe what's happening.
That spoon and
Could
pasta
water
really.
pull out? Could the water prevail and win this match?
Oh
Who saw this coming?
my goodness! After
Wow.
two great coaching adjustments, the water is starting to make a comeback. It looked for the last 15 minutes that they were done, they were out. But after those two quick plays by the coach, that's a coach of the year candidate right there.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But we are starting to see some boilage happen back. I don't know if the stove maybe got tired or if they had to go to the bullpen and readjust, but we are
Hmm.
starting to see the foam come back. So it
Yeah,
might have been a placebo effect there, make the water think it was going away. But like you said, there is a rapid boil going on right now.
yeah.
And
Stove went
Doc,
to the bullpen, I think, and they brought in that number one closer. He's been perfect on the year, so he's trying to close another one out and win this series.
And I'll tell you
and
what, the Stove's living up to its reputation of being a dirty player right there. You
mhm.
know, backing off, making the water, and us. They fooled us. I'll give it to them. I thought water was winning, but turning
Yeah.
itself off and coming back on just a dirty play, especially in the finals like this.
Phew. What a matchup though. Doc, going back to you, this is where the work in the off season takes place. You saw how the stove
Yeah.
backed off and then rapidly increased. That's off season right there.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
Oh, there it
there it
goes.
is.
There it
Oh,
goes.
gone.
Is that?
It has given up.
Is that it?
Oh man, looks like that was another call to the
Yeah.
bullpen. Let's see what happens
Yeah,
here.
I don't know. Is that
Look at that stove though. Oh,
it is. That
that's a
beautiful?
doesn't
beautiful
even look
stove.
fatigued either.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all.
We had a
Oh,
call
Oh
under.
man, there it is.
There it is.
that's beautiful right there. That's finally
Perfect
Hey,
done. The
boil.
well cooked pasta.
fun fact, that's what I used to cut my hair last week. That strainer.
Ha!
Got the bowl cut.
Very
Got the
nice. Very
bulk.
nice. And it's looking great on you
Mm,
right now.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It is
No problem.
solid.
What kind
It,
of pasta is that? Is that rigatoni? Certainly
nah,
not elbows.
I don't think that's rigatoni. That's that like penne
Those
kind of
shells?
mix. I
No,
think
penne. Oh no,
maybe.
what
I
the?
don't know.
Hmm.
It kind of looks like a pasta salad mix.
Yeah, perfect.
That
You know,
like a
not
little
my area of
noodles.
expertise. I'm an angel
Hmm.
hair guy, but
Okay.
never seen
Mm-hmm.
this before.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
big angel hair guy myself, but I don't know. This looks different. This is something you've never seen before. It's really coming out of right field.
yeah. I'm looking at our stat sheets right now, and it's not getting too much here. It's not penne. It's not far fall, far foul, something like that. Uh,
Definitely
man,
not
it's
angel hair, but
nope,
Oh, we
definitely
just saw a
not.
hand appearance. What is he
Looks like it's
doing?
Fusilli. Oh man, it's
facility.
gone.
Oh,
It's
it's
gone. You know,
gone. That's
It's
I
it.
don't know about you
gone.
guys, but I think we got to call us a W for the stove.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely
Hey,
for sure.
before we let the stove run for their post game victory, let's give a quick post game interview to them. So I'll start off the first question. So the stove, what was the game plan going through this? You battled in '92. You had 30 some odd years to rest and rethink the game plan. What was going through your mind during that battle?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Obviously, not much coming from the stove on that one, but you know, stove. We saw earlier you were doing the 14 on, 6 off approach. How do you think that really implemented your game plan to securing your victory? Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, just one last question. The pot and the water threw you for two loops. One, they threw the pasta in first, and then second, they brought the spoon in. How did you make adjustments, and did you see that coming at all?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Good
Obviously,
point.
not too talkative.
Yeah, no, not really.
Mm,
Just got to celebrate the victory and enjoy it with his teammates. Understandable. He doesn't want to
Hmm.
talk to the media after this one,
Yeah.
after huge win,
mhm.
huge championship. So it's
I
tough.
couldn't agree more. What a battle there we saw. You guys said David and Goliath kind of match, and I
Hmm.
couldn't agree more, folks.
Yeah, for a second, like I said, thought we were going to see the biggest Cinderella since Bill Murray at Augusta, but ultimately talent came through. The better team prevailed. So shout out
Mm.
to the pot and its fans. They're going to have a good season next year. But it's just this Stove is just too strong.
Yeah, do we have on the schedule when the next game is? I forgot my schedule at home. Do we know when the next match between them is?
Nah, I don't got one. I don't have a match coming up anytime soon, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, all right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap things up. Uh, what a match, Dop. You want to close this out because I'm speechless.
Yeah. Me too, Jake. I'll tell you what though, this was a heck of a battle. Two lightweights going at it, and you know what? We want to thank all the fans for tuning in, and everyone stay safe, and we'll see you next time here on Pot versus Stove.